Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video on making encounters fun. This is going to be a multi-part series. We're going to make them super short videos, super ingestible so that you can get all of the goodies from them without wasting too much of your time. I've heard on the forums and the Reddits and all the things that a lot of new dungeon masters find low-level combat to be a bit boring, and there's always threads asking for advice on how to make the low-level combat interesting. I think there are just a few things that if you add to your encounter building will change the dynamic greatly. So I'm just going to go through the first one here, and you'll be surprised how much a small change can really make things way more interesting and more exciting. So, I'm going to start with a group of level 1, a medium encounter. So, super basic, super simple. We're going to start with the basics. This is for new DMs who are just trying to figure out how to make their encounters more interesting. So if you might have already know all this, and if you do, well, that's great. But this is mostly for new people. If you go into the Dungeon Master's Guide and you build an encounter using the statistics and the stuff there, you'll find that 6 bandits is a medium encounter for a group of 5 level 1s. I have just the base level 1 characters from Lost Mines of Phandelver here, just to show as an example. So this seems like an alright encounter. Bandits pop out of the roads when you're traveling. They're easy to put on the road outside of civilization. In cities, they can also be like bandits and thieves and things like that. So they can be used a lot of places. But I personally think this encounter is a little one-dimensional. There's a couple of reasons that having lots of the same creature is not necessarily a good thing. First, initiative. If you roll initiative, how they describe it in the game, all of the bandits are going to get their go on the same turn. If they roll really high, if they roll higher than all the players, that's 6 actions against your players before they even get a go. Alternatively, if they roll lower than all your players could probably pick off 2 or 3 of them before they even get a go. So, first reason, they go on the same turn, which mechanically in a fight like this will swing the side heavily, especially in level 1. I think that's why level 1 fights feel so swingy. There are other reasons for that as well, but so we have these 6 guys here. Second thing, they all go in and do the same thing. They're all either going to shoot with their bows or they're going to come in and try to stab them with their spears. There's no diversity in the attacks, making it a little bit bland. We're not going to talk about narrative or anything like that in this video. We'll do another one on that. We're just looking at the mechanics of varying up the combat. So let's just, for the sake of it, roll initiative and see what happens here. So, all right, bandits, 6 initiative. The dwarf, let's have a look at him. Initiative. 12. So already you have 1 player whose initiative is going to be higher than the player than them. All right, that's 2 players that initiative is higher than, because the bandits rolled poorly, meaning that this fight, even though only 2 people have rolled, is heavily favoring the players. Okay, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can definitely have combats that just go in favor of one side, preferably the players, otherwise it's a TPK. But yeah, look at that. So if I descend these, look, we've got the elf wizard, the human fighter, the dwarf cleric, the human fighter, and the halfling rogue, because in my games, if there's a tie between the players and the enemies, I usually let the players go first. So in this one example, every single player gets to go before the bandits. So it's like if the wizard comes over here, casts Burning Hands, they all take 6 damage. The fighter comes over, kills this one. The cleric comes over, casts spiritual sacred flame. That's the one. Kills this one. Then the human fighter comes and kills this one, and then the rogue sneaks up and kills this one. That could quite easily be the first round of combat before any of the bandits get a go. Then the two bandits, there's only two of them. They're going to stab with their spears or run away because there's only two of them left. Or if the player has missed all of those attacks, then it is now the bandits' go, and they all get 6 attacks on one turn. So if one of the players was out of position, all of a sudden there's 3 attacks on the noble and there's 3 attacks on this rogue. And at this level, that could quite easily kill them. So Scimitar, this guy's already taken 6 damage, so he's down to 3. So it's not a balanced way of fighting, and it's very linear. There's no diversity in what the opponents are doing. So this isn't necessarily you should never use 6 bandits in an encounter at level 1. This is more of a, if you want to spice your encounter up, perhaps thinking about using a variety of different creatures. So this was my example, just to show you what I mean by having 6 of the same creature and the problems that can occur with it. So down here we have the same level 1 characters, and we have a bandit encounter as well. But this time we've incorporated a few other creatures. So we still want it to feel like a bandit encounter. You still want it to have bandits, but we've changed it up. So we've gotten rid of 4 of the bandits. We've introduced a mastiff. Maybe one of the bandits has a pet dog that he sicks on people. Perfect. Maybe we have an apprentice wizard, which is in Volo's guide. So if you guys don't have that, I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's got some really cool creatures in it, plus different NPC style stuff that you can use. And then an acolyte. So this, in terms of difficulty, is exactly the same as this encounter, except you now have 4 different types of creatures. So if you roll initiative like you're supposed to in the book, there's going to be a great difference in how the fight goes. So just for the sake of it, there's also the fact that a acolyte does not fight like a bandit does. A mastiff has different abilities to a bandit, so each time one of the enemies gets their go, they're doing something different, which makes it more exciting. With that, you're literally not doing anything else besides changing the composition of this fight, and already it's more interesting. It's the easiest way to make your combats more interesting. And it makes things more balanced as well in a way. So let's, for instance, so the last fight, it was very swingy. Let's have this roll initiative for these guys. So we've got our acolyte. He rolled a 5. He rolled pretty poorly. Our 2 bandits rolled a 14. Ooh, so they did a lot better than last time. Our acolyte, which I have repurposed as a lizard wizard, which I use in one of my campaigns, he rolled a 7, so not great. And then the mastiff, 6. Okay, so a lot of them didn't roll too good, but the bandits, they get to go pretty early on. Let's just quickly roll our character's initiative here. So he's rolled a 16. So he's already going to go before the bandits. The dwarf, oh, he rolled a 3, so he's going last. So already, obviously, it depends on what the characters roll, but you can already see there's a difference just because there's more chances for the enemies to roll high in the initiative order. So let's have a look. Oop, wrong button. And then, boom. All right, let's see how we went. All right, so 2 of the players get to go first. Excellent. Perfect. So they'll do their actions, but unless they're incredibly lucky in their attacks, they're probably not going to kill the 2 bandits before they get their go. So say the human fighter runs in, and then the halfling rogue comes over here and shoots a crossbow at the dog. Say he's lucky and he kills the mastiff, so the mastiff doesn't get to go. but at least it was there. The noble comes in, and then there's 2 bandits who get their go. And then immediately after the bandit, the wizard gets his go. So he's going to come over here and do whatever he wants. And then the lizard wizard on this side, which is the apprentice, gets his go. And instead of attacking with a spear like the bandits were, he has spells that he can use. So maybe he, instead of attacking, he casts Burning Hands. He maneuvers in a position that he could hit 2 of the players at once. So now this combat is way more dynamic than the first one. Also, maybe on the Acolyte's turn, given that he survives, he comes over and he heals the dog. So the dog is now up and attacking again. So this just gives you more options with what you can do in the combat. And all you did was remove a couple of the same type of creature and add different ones. There is an excellent website that I use for building encounters. I can't remember the exact website address, but it's something along the lines of Kobold something. But I'll definitely post a link in the description of this, and you can use that to build your encounters. It's just got a list of all the creatures. You can put in your players, what level they are, and you can click on the different creatures, and it will show you if it's a medium encounter, deadly, hard. You can even randomize different encounters. It's the best website ever, but I would recommend using that and just playing around with different types of creatures that you can put into your different encounters. So part 1 of making your encounters more interesting is just have a variety of things that they're fighting. Don't just have one creature multiplied that they're fighting. Have spellcasters, have healers, have animals, have fighters mixed with monstrosities. Like, if you can think of it, do it. And it will definitely make your encounters way more interesting without really having to do much at all. I hope this has been informative. I'll be making a few more videos on how to make your combat interesting, and I hope it helped. Thanks.